In today's video, a nightly view over Dubai. We have made it to Burj Khalifa Park, which indeed is the park and man-made lake directly below the currently highest structure in the world, namely Burj Khalifa. Named after Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the second ruler of Dubai, who recently passed away in May 2022. This 828-meter high structure, with its top floor at 585 meters above the desert sands below, is currently the highest man-made structure in the world, followed up by Taipei 101 in 2009, when Burj Dubai, as it was known then, was still under construction. Several other records held by Burj Khalifa are tallest structure ever built, tallest freestanding structure, tallest skyscraper, building with the most floors, world's highest elevator installation, and the world's highest nightclub at floor 144. That's for the records. Let's continue to the observation deck located at the 124th and 125th floors. Both floors are connected to a flight of stairs, while the elevator that brings us here will either stop at 124 or 125, as they have two levels. With one ticket, you have access to both levels. A separate ticket, however, is required if you want to visit the much more private sky observation deck 100 meters above the one we're visiting today. This means this observation deck is the fourth highest in the world. The third highest is located in Cloud Top 488 on the Canton Tower in Guangzhou, China, while the highest currently is also in China, namely in the Shanghai Tower that opened in 2006. This observation deck is just 6 meters higher than the current number 2 in the world though. The elevators that bring passengers back and forth between the ground floors and observation decks have simulated windows that show a mixed display of the towers, surrounding views, and some flashy light display that can be, to be honest, quite irritating with all its flashing. I guess it's modern. People who are sensitive to lights should keep this in mind though.
We're almost as high as Vix's flat.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see his flat from that. See the bird.
Late in the afternoon, a small crowd started to gather at the observation deck, but it was just busy enough to offer all visitors a piece of the view. As people came and went to make pictures in front of the windows, it was sometimes a little wait before you had your piece of the view. It didn't really matter, as there wasn't a set time limit to spend up here, even though the ticket stated you have 1.5 hours. Views from up here are quite remarkable. When the weather is clear, obviously not today as there was a lot of dust in the sky, it is possible to see the shoreline of Iran, some 150 kilometers to the north of here. In this comparison you can see the development made in the last decade, since the first picture was taken, followed by a picture I took focused roughly on the same location. Quite a number of tall buildings have popped up and the place looks a lot greener than before. As the time of sunset nears, more people gather outside. The thing is, today there was a lot of dust in the sky, so the sunset is not a pretty one where you can see the sun sink into the sea. Rather, the sun will just disappear in the dust hanging in the sky. Therefore, it's better to make a few pictures earlier on, as it's all going down slightly earlier. Not everyone realized that, I suppose. These early scenes of dusk setting in are actually quite stunning. Because of all the dust in the sky, the lighting is much more diffuse than on a clear day, casting all kinds of colors over the city for a few minutes this evening. This is that dusty sunset, as good as it gets. The sun is gone for the day, but it was just slightly before sunset. And up here, there's a 2-minute time difference in sunset compared to ground level. Islamic scholars even put out a degree over this years back. Let's enjoy the crowd for a bit before heading down again. This was long enough at the 4th highest observation deck in the world. This is the second one I visited during my trip, and it will also be the last one. From here on it's mostly all at ground level, except for some flying. If you have made it this far, may I recommend you to give the subscribe button a friendly click if you haven't done so already. It's highly appreciated and will help me grow to get more exposure. Just as that like that you're about to give, right? Thank you for watching this video.